Так, ребят, всем привет, вы на канале Vampyr, сегодня мы продолжаем проходить игру Vampyr. Так, короче, нам надо найти чела, который спалил бабу, что она вампирша, шантажирует ее деньгами. И она находится в больнице. Что типа, когда по датам сходится, что когда эта баба приходила, все эти люди умирали от потери крови. И нам надо выяснить, кто это.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here, this Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest.
Goodbye, mate.
What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner
Жесткая
here.
бабка.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round. Miss Jones.
Again?
Now,
Well,
have you noticed any suspicious comings or goings?
it would be a great deal easier to make a list of things unsuspicious in this house of charlatans.
Come now, Miss Jones. Surely it's not that bad.
Have you no eyes? This hospital accepts all manner of souls, regardless of origin. The proper sick cannot heal. We're kept sickened by the refugees.
Everyone here is very capable. I have not seen any instances of unprofessionalism.
Thieves and murderers, the lot. People have gone missing here, you know. Poof, without a trace.
If you could just tell me why you were admitted.
It's terrible, Doctor. What with a pain in my chest, coughing up blood, and I get awfully tired. Wouldn't be so bad if I hadn't lost my house and all.
I see.
No one comes to visit, you know. Not even my own flesh and blood.
I'll come and visit you.
Поговорить пристрой. Папа Хикинс.
The patients and staff might know something.
Может,
I'll
пациент
start my
что-то
investigation
знает,
with them.
прошу у них для начала. Вот одна из них.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
Goodbye, Nurse. Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate. It's locked. Good evening,
Еще
Nurse
одну
Brandon.
нашли.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse.
Блин, а где это? Сестра.
I have wasted.
Blaming me will not further your agenda, sir. How long's it going to take to fix me properly? A month?
I'm all right.
A year? You have the right to disapprove of our methods. And kindly apologize when you're...
Не могу найти еще одну, прикиньте. А, так, ну мне на карте показано. Нажми В, чтобы активировать чутье. Если горожане ведут себя подозрительно, то будет вести посол.
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but... well, we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight.
Фобия крысенил.
Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is... nervous and quite fragile.
This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal.
I have all the...
Thank you, Doctor.
Так он...
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, You may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him.
Блять, что тут происходит?
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Забрать громилу из канализации. Изгнание дракона. Обратно Святого Павла я посоветую всем нашего клуба большой настороженностью относиться к этим навязчивым ученым. Да большинство относится так, по крайней мере, говорит, целях ля-ля-ля. Похоже, определенный срок, члены братства проводят ритуал, агрессивный. Всякая херня. Ну, там, наверное, надо пацана спасти. Кажется, он вот тут орет, его надо спасти. Горожанин, который грозит опасность, может не дожить до следующей ночи.
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay. I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend Newton sent me to help you. Do you remember him?
Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do.
Чисто спасибо, а он стоит. Блин, это выход. Блин, сейчас опять драться, что ли, с ними? Надо там в подвал идти надо. Сейчас босс, наверное, будет.
What sort of creature is this?
Блядь.
Here's what's left.
Да.
Not a lot to
Сюда.
check, but I should anyway.
Ну, жесткий какой-то. Если вы больны, у вас нет денег, не важно, что вы, не важно откуда, обращайтесь за помощью к Дороти. Никакого обмана, никакой платы, никаких вопросов. Просто найдите дом Дарвиса и покажите этот купон.
Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her. This is an impressive knife. There's a name engraved on the metal. Clay. What kind of man puts his name on a knife?
Я нашел какой-то нож. А, нет, это какой-то. Если этот нож у меня в предметах просто. Да. Интересно. Без шансов, братанчик. Я сильнее. Блин, так далеко, туда еще дойти надо. Сейчас мы сохранимся. Может, прокачаем что-нибудь, пушки какие-нибудь, еще что-нибудь.
You look exhausted. You're pushing yourself too hard.
That was fast.
I'm afraid the trail of breadcrumbs leads beyond the hospital premises. I must leave for a time.
Is that so? Why?
Now it's time for you to be patient. It would seem that your blackmailer is part of a more complex machination whose root is in Whitechapel.
Machination? Do you suspect another immortal is involved?
I hadn't considered that eventuality.
Do be careful, my good doctor. When immortals are involved, the stakes tend to escalate quickly.
I'll return with case solved or carried on my shield.
Ну все, хватит. Исчихалось.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like
Wise choice.
I cannot enter. The flower's dying. It needs water. The flower's dying.
Это тоже с хайтом, нужна вода.
It needs water.
Так, что сделать-то? Как помочь-то? На улицу его поставить. Часть обычной рукояти надо 6 штук. Свинцовые пластины надо. Ставим себе. Кого можно продать? Меч надо, для меча надо. Рукояти, пластины. Надо у этого чувака посмотреть. Да, часть обычной рукояти, свинцовая пластина. Сейчас пойдем посмотрим. У меня 1700, да? Давайте улучшим вот это. 2000 надо. А, мне не хватает. 1300. Давайте копить 2000. Или все-таки что-нибудь прокачать еще? Прокачаем, в принципе, вот это и копим 2000.
It's locked.
Подожди, я не был на третьем этаже ни разу. А, тут закрыто. Гамма 0. Средства от головной боли. Пойти помочь сделать средства от головной боли. Блин, туда бегу. После. Средство от головной боли. У нас есть такое? У меня нету. Надо посмотреть товары, может быть, у кого-то.
Good evening.
I need blood, Doctor. Warm.
I'll leave you.
How long must I wait, damn it? Blaming me will not further your agenda, sir. How long's it going to take to fix me?
Thank you.
And you will come to apologize when you're feeling better.
Good evening.
And good evening.
Tell me, Thoreau, what's the real cause of your dislike for Dr. Ackroyd?
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the real target here.
Goodbye, Dr. Strip.
Good evening.
Goodbye for now.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen. As for me, blundering idiot.
It's locked.
Good.
Tell me the truth about your appointment as a medic during the war, Rakesh.
The regiment administration appointed me by mistake. I had to learn the job on the spot, sir. Very hard, sir, but I rose to the challenge.
Дядя.
Do you realize how many soldiers died because of that decision? You should have refused.
Yes, sir. I swear I did, sir. But no one listened. When the first wounded arrived, I had to do what I could.
It is an unbelievable story, Mr. Chidana.
It was a time beyond belief, Dr. Reed. But I'm happy not to deal with the wounded. I prefer caring for the dead now.
You can't impersonate a doctor. You can't improvise.
You're absolutely right, sir. But as a field surgeon, it was more like being a butcher.
Do you believe you have really helped these people?
My ratings were within the averages of the regiment. I saved lives, Dr. Reed. Does that not say enough about triage and war surgery?
Please.
Of course.
Мужички мусора. У него нету рецептов. Тут я ничего не хочу подавать ему. У него рецепта нет. Ну, как раз таки туда я не хотел идти. А, нет, это не тот, это другой. Жителям отдан комендантский час, официальное уведомление. Соблюдайте коммунистические. Короче, понятно. Ну, 18 уровня. Растительная вербовка, про него что-то. Я нашел это Альби, он тупой, как табурет, но крепкий. Я попросил его разобраться с лекарством. Подожди, что я нашел? Че не понял? Альберт Паумпа. Альберт должен быть встретиться с головами мокрых ботинок после вступления в банду. Короче, это какие-то... Пойти так, там тупик, нам надо по низу идти. Боже, какие они дотошные. Боже. С ними бороться, блядь.
fancy clothes? This one's a top.
Бля, с ними вообще трудно, сука, с этими типами воевать. Ищите нашу свободу, записываюсь, скоро волжский фото есть. Понятно. Так, а это мы куда идем? Это не сюда? Ну, это убежище. Еще 200. Маловато. Ничего. Что-то улучшить можно. Это оглушение. Я понял. Все-таки кол, видимо, нужен не качать. Это оглушение, можно выпить крови. Боже, живучая, сука, а.
I cannot enter.
Сюда, наверное, не пойду. Или сходить посмотреть. Нет, не надо. Не пойду.
It's locked, all right.
Эти сопротивления, они типа оборотни делают. Вампиров убирают? Какой целью?
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow. What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
I have found a very interesting letter. Your son planned to prove his worth to the gang by stealing your medicine.
Oh, I see. So the little bugger thought he could use his dad to build a reputation.
The gang's recruiter was dead when I found him. Perhaps you should take better care of your son.
I love my Albert, sir. Believe me. It's just... Well, I'm an arsehole, I suppose. Anyway, thanks for the letter. This is for your trouble.
Интеграция. Бальзам сон Бора. Не знаю, для чего мне нужен. В этом доступна подсказка.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
Perhaps you could focus.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
A gun? Good evening. Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
A gun?
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lav...
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now...
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey! I didn't do anything, it ain't me!
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go...
Goodbye, young man.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Что-то случилось. Куда это я попал? Непонятно. Это убежище. Надо 2000 опыта, чтобы прокачать способность. Взрыв вот этот, она очень хорошо наносит и отталкивает.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
I'd like to...
Торговать. У меня ничего такого нет.
Good evening.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her
Слишком
flowers.
ярко она выглядит для этого города.
What do you think?
Наверное, лекарство свое
Most
продает,
of them
которое
are
не помогает.
afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Loretta, your miraculous formula wouldn't even cure a common cold, and you know it.
The Swanborough's cordial's secret ingredient is hope, Doctor. And it's something people around here really need.
A placebo effect is real and has benefit. But in your case, you could be murdering your customers, who may die because they are not receiving the necessary medical attention.
Medical attention? In Whitechapel? Trust me, my cordial is the best option they have, since it is the only one.
Well, as it is a placebo of sorts, perhaps it may have some positive effect.
See? You have to admit I'm doing some good.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Goodbye.
you'll understand.
Good evening. What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar. A coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
A gun, alcohol.
No match for the Swanborough cordial.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to. There's nobody here. I cannot enter. Nobody at home.
Никак не, блядь, туда попасть.
Goody.
Goodbye. It's locked. I will return later. It's locked, all right.
Надо как туда попасть, блять, я не понимаю.
I cannot enter. It's locked, all right.
Someday you'll understand. You've wasted your life away.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Я не понимаю, что надо делать, блять.
There's no one in.
В убежище надо поспать. Подойти еще раз попробую. Что я не понимаю, что делать надо. Я подхожу к двери, там либо игра лагает, либо что.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Goodbye.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Right then. You never... Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes. Those bloody immigrants should know their place, eh? How dare they do a better job than the lazy natives of this land?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Goodbye for now.
Нет, стой, блядь, случайно вышел.
How is business around here?
Business? I had no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Goodbye for now. Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
It's locked, all right.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities, but I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reed. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough like... well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
This place is awful, I agree. But does that not mean your situation can only improve?
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
You again?
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
You survive at any cost, even at the expense of others. Perhaps that's just the law of nature.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. People won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak, and there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Fancy bar.
You never... Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
It's never easy to find a new path in...
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against the wet boot boy.
What do you know of Harry Peterson? The boy seems so fragile. Not like his father at all.
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining. He's had it tough, all right, but he needs to grow a pair.
What troubles him exactly?
Well, despite being his father's son, almost everything, I think. He never wanted to come to Whitechapel in the first place. Hates this place more than most of us.
Goodbye.
Cheap price, good quality.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to...
All right then, but be quick, though I...
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like...
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money.
You can put your...
And you
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't use...
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
Goodbye, Min. Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed.
A scientist?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks.
I have heard... Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nither...
May I ask what...
Not...
If... But I...
Oh, I...
Короче, понятно.
What are your... What are you...
Do you remember...
Yeah.
Most...
What are you talking...
Do you remember...
Yes.
Most people...
Are you aware that your life...
But this... I don't... Well...
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott. Do you not think it...
On the...
What can you...
Not much.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out that...
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me.
And have you ever...
Maybe I...
I'll leave...
And grieve...
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time.
When she was younger...
My parents...
You seem...
Someday...
Tell me... Do you not...
On what? Not much.
I'll leave... Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. Tell me about Richard Nethercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia.
Говорить не может.
I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence.
Да, меня утомлять начинает это все, блядь. Ты тратишь только 2 часа нахуй. Вот это. Короче, она общаться не хочет, либо не умеет. Нет. Сломал, блядь. Куда? Так, и зачем мне сюда?
I cannot enter.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Dove.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon.
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Dove?
Скилл на убеждение. Там есть такие скиллы. Там же скиллы только драки и оружие.
Have you any idea of the danger
Что
you
за...
face in these streets at night?
Там нет
I've
такого.
had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest,
Why are the newspapers...
There's a war going on. People...
If no...
Yes.
Давай, короче, блядь.
Why?
Понятно, так. Все.
Goodbye, Mr.
Смотри, я не могу квест, блядь, выполнить. Вот сюда надо. Я застрял и все, хз, что делать. Сейчас тебе покажу, может ты и подскажешь. Куда я, как туда попасть, в эту квартиру? О.
This is despicable.
Cordial can be the answer to all your problems, as long as you have the money.
Вот, тут надо поговорить с мужиком. Я с ним поговорил, открывается дверь. Он говорит, мы вам не рады. Туда-сюда. И я не знаю, как попасть туда. Вон там эти типы. Вон тот чел. Расследуйте действия Дариуса Петреску. Он меня не пускает. Что делать, я не знаю. Вон он стоит. Он стучит, и ему не открывают, потому что, скорее всего, мне надо сюда попасть. И анимация это будет работать. Игра будет проходить дальше, а я не знаю. Куда идти? Я, блядь, все, бегал. А, нету кровавого следа никакого. Ну, кровавый след вон там. Ну, как попасть?
It's locked, all right.
Застрял, блядь, и все, пиздец, бред. Вот именно, что кровавого следа никакого нет. Я уже все оббежал вокруг. Никак не могу попасть. Только вот этот проход, который закрыт. И этот закрыт, и все. И дверь закрыта. Куда идти, блядь? Я думаю, может куда-то телепортироваться надо.
There's nobody here.
Бля, я хз вообще. Куда идти? Блять. Да что ты... Да вот именно, я там сверху, блядь. О, оборти. Все, бегал. Я там, блядь, уже не знаю. Хрена, это куда я попал? Блядь, что такое? Блять, я не успел. Да что такое?
Better go home, sir. Die, beast!
Боже, это что такое? Да хватит наводить этот прицел, блять. У меня крови нету. Ну все, мне пизда. Так, а ради чего я тут гасюсь с этими типами, блядь? Заебись.
I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you...
Goodbye.
I should never... Fancy...
You never... Goodbye.
Короче, хз вообще, как это, квест это выполнить, я не знаю. Хрен знает, что делать, куда идти. По крышам нет прохода.
It's locked.
Да боже. Может, надо побазарить душевно с кем-нибудь. Да, блядь. Сколько можно пиздеть? Бля, подожди, я, кажется, нашел проход. А, нет. Чё делай? Бу.
It's locked, all right.
Блять, я не знаю. Я уже, типа, ну... И это... Сохранился уже, прокачался. Я сейчас просто в инете буду гуглить, я не знаю. Типа, меня никуда не пускает. Что надо делать? Этот чел начал со мной говорить. И он закрыл передо мной дверь. И все, и ушел. Я вижу, что он идет туда. Дверь невозможно открыть с этой стороны. Возможно открыть с другой. Правильно? Правильно. Как мне туда попасть? Непонятно? Непонятно. Ну, обычно подсвечивается F-ка, что надо прыгнуть. Социальный слой. Наверное, надо вот этой бабе Камиле стало мусорить, что никто не посчитает ее загадочной. Она молчит. Может быть, ей сделать лекарство, принести, она сможет со мной поговорить. Потому что, я так понимаю, это... Да не хочу загружаться. Это, наверное... Облачко. Да нет, не появляется. Блять, F нажать надо было. F просто вот. Боже мой, блять.
Strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Это пиздец. Я час где-то с лишним пробегал. Надо поговорить с тем журналистом или поэтом. Они должны что-то знать. Я их видел у церкви. Боже, блядь. Так, ребята, сейчас мы прокачаем оружие. И на сегодня все. Ролик будет на канале. Обязательно залетайте, блядь. Залетайте, лайки, комментарии, короче, туда-сюда. Хуя моя, сейчас выложу. И все. Так, сегодня у нас какое число? 6. Да, сегодня будет ролик. 18:15 по магаданскому времени. Так, я хочу меч прокачать. Не хватает часть обычной рукояти. Блять, а чё так много? Кол нельзя прокачать, жалко. Можешь пистолет прокачать. Сейчас время перезарядки на 25. Не знаю, давайте увеличить урон. Боже, это инструмент? Не, ну я ж бегал там, другое открывал, тоже полезное. Опа, стояба. Ладно. Так, 2000 опыта не хватает. Я хотел прокачать вот эту способность. Она вообще жесткая. Или прокачаем хпшку. Что там случилось? Анемия. Давайте садим лекарства, подлечим их как-то. Кто еще чем болеет? Переутомление. Анемия. Анемия. Мигрень. Простуда. Простуда. А тут же создавать, да, лекарства? Средства от переутомления. Сколько надо средств от переутомления? Раз, два. Два надо средства. Так, дальше какие там надо? Так, переутомление 2. Это кто? Анемия. Анемия. Раз, два. Анемия. Анемия. Раз, два. Сейчас вылечим людей. Так, это что у нас? Анемия. Мигрень. Простуда, бронхит. Мигрень, простуда, бронхит. Простуда, бронхит, пневмония. А чего там еще надо было? Мигрень. Мигрень у меня нету, да? От этого ничего. Да, у меня нету. Я не знаю, где рецепт найти. Один рецепт я купил у типа. Второй я так и не находил еще. Тут... Это я всю игру тут... Что? Блядь, серьезно? Чуть не убили меня просто. Давайте вот это еще посмотрим, просто интересно. Это я столько тут стоял, только сейчас об этом узнал. Что тут проход есть. Он куда-то ведет.
It's locked, all right.
Я понял, что это за проход. Я тогда не смог сюда попасть, он был закрыт. Сейчас я его открыл с другой стороны. Понятно. Да, вот это меня отпинали. Один удар, блять. Мне просто типы ваншота чуть не убили. Мигрень жестко, блять, у меня бывает иногда, это пиздец. Говная больно. Неприятно.
Good evening, Harry. May I?
Sure.
Вот его сейчас вылечу.
So,
I'm not bot.
do you need any?
Yes, I do.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
Goodbye, young man.
Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
Сейчас мы еще тебя посмотрим, тут ничего лишнего не забыли. Эти лекарства, ты мне инструменты.
It's locked, all right.
pain and suffering in this world.
No, please, I don't have your money.
Maybe a glass and I'll be gentle. Pay
Good evening.
change.
Do you need any...
It.
I am shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my suspicion. I'm so used to liars with good manners.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Goodbye.
Good evening.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Do you need
That would be nice.
If you persist in investigating the most pox-ridden boroughs of London, you must accept the risks.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye. Good evening, Mr.
And good evening to you too, Mike.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but His reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'll leave you alone. Good evening.
And good evening to you.
Do you need... I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. But you should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more important than my physical health. But
I'll leave... Hello again, miss. You don't seem... Very well. Hello again. Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Very well.
The content of Darius' letter to his
Дорогие игры, любимым детям, что у вас несколько месяцев не будем вместе.
children could give me more leverage to
Найти жителей, чем шантаж.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to
Так,
incite
я
him
хочу
to
еще
let me.
помочь пацанчику. Он где-то в начале находится. Сейчас сбегаем.
Fancy you never... Right then. Good evening, Ben.
I'm afraid...
You don't...
Oh...
I will... A gun, alcohol... How are you, boy?
I'm not your...
Do you need a...
Please.
There you go. Let's hope nobody's...
Very funny.
Goodbye, young man.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see, Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
It's locked.
If you...
We've not been...
I am that...
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane?
Like myself and many people in this area. Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever, too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man, for sure, but a very poor writer.
Did you refuse to publish Richard Nethercott's previous works, Darius?
Yes. His manuscript is as pompous as he is starched. Now there's a man who loves the sound of his own voice.
You could have told him so.
As a great writer recently said, politeness is the most acceptable hypocrisy.
Tell me everything you know.
I do not...
Почему он подсвечивается?
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as...
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but... Thank you, Dr. Reed. I appreciate...
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life. and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
But it's not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Yes?
Do you need some help, Mr.
I am very...
Well?
Free drugs from an English doctor.
Goodbye, Mr.
Так, ну я всех вылечу. Вот этого нет у меня, я не знаю, где лекарства найти. О.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily, high fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain, diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort, liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor. We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Я чё, врач, что ли, блин?
We did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bet. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
It's locked, all right. I cannot enter.
Так, подождите, я выбрал, что ли, не тот вариант? Ну, она им всем помогает, ей дал лекарства. И в итоге я выбрал не тот вариант. Я не могу загрузиться, с автосохранения работает. Пиздец. Я что, зря их всех лечил?
This one stinks already. Listen! Murdering bastard! Stupid beast! I'll kill it! Take his head! Bloody monster! Shit!
Я, короче, не тот выбрал вариант.
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reed. Come on. Here, when those in power are toppled into mud with the
Goodbye,
rest of us.
Joe, please. I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, in your game.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill it, boy! The bloody grave! Let's see how it likes a bit of fire! Burn it, boys! Die, vermin! Burn it!
Да боже, блядь. Какое же уебищное управление.
Burn it, boys!
Да нажми ты пить, блядь. Понятно, блядь. Опять ваги игры. Так, ладно, ролик будет на игре. Продолжим уже потом. Там завалились, сохранились. Вот, добежим до больницы. И там будет видно. Потому что мы ж вампиры, и нам надо как-то справляться с этим. Пришлось идти на такой вариант, чтобы, типа, та баба-вампирша нам все рассказала. Ладно, всем спасибо. До скорой встречи.